Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Witcher.
Well, you didn't let me finish my story I was saying off camera.
Well,
It was
to be
boring
fair,
anyway.
though, I mean, not only was it boring, I'm not entirely sure if I want to hear it because of like the legal nature of it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether you can finish it on Twitch.
Well,
Definitely
the
can't.
court date's next month, so
Yeah, but it's like
I'll let you know that.
I mean, Neil's safe because he lives in the UK, but the rest of us are in the U. Oh no, fuck! Just rip me and Dunce then. Yeah. So.
I'll tell you later, Neil.
All right, I'm down.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine for hearing it if there's no proof that I heard it. You know. So.
But unfortunately, yeah, this is proof, yeah.
No, it's not, because we could just be talking about how, his friends, robbed a liquor store. Damn.
Dude!
What the...
Oh,
I'm not very
my
creative,
God.
okay? Like, in the spot, I'm not very creative. What happens in Florida stays in Florida. So, unfortunately, it doesn't. The rest of us deal with
Goes in
it.
the fucking news is what happens.
Yeah. Florida, man.
Florida man.
So let's go back to what's happening here. So this guy comes running over and goes to stab at you, right? And as he goes to stab at you, it's one of those things where you are pinned to the ground. It's not that it's not like you couldn't get back up. I mean, legit, like we're talking a low DC athletics check, you'd be able to pull yourself free or whatever, right? Like he pinned you, or strength save, whatever. He pins you to the ground with his sword, through your clothes, stabs into the ground, and is kind of getting ready to attack at you again. And as it's like stabbing through the back of your clothes, and you're like twisted sideways, so the blade even runs slightly along your belly. I mean, blades aren't perfectly sharpened; they're somewhat dull sharpened, but you can feel the cold steel pressed against your stomach as you twist it around to see him. And the simple fact of the matter is, Bran is just scared shitless. Like, he has a man standing over him with a sword. He just did an incredible amount of damage. All he would have to do is lift, turn it slightly, and stab in sideways. Doesn't even have to take the blade fully out of your clothes. Doesn't have to use much force. And he could end you here. And you are so fucking scared from this. You're getting these memories of experiences you had when you were a child, not even when you were a child, when you were an adult and had recently discovered your powers, and the persecution that you've had since then. I mean, and it's just like you lose control of who and what you are. And so all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everybody around you is gone. Completely and utterly gone. All of them are just disappeared. Bran, you're lying on a comfortable down mattress. Unfortunately, filling it with a pool of blood. But the smell in the air is no longer that of wilderness and steel and blood of those fighting around you, and shit from that guy that was stabbed twice and curb stomped. I mean, you are filled with the smell of lilac. I mean, it's very sweet. In this area, you can hear soft music playing through a door that's to your side. This candlelight, because there's no windows in this room, that's keeping the place with a soft glow. Looking about the room, you can see it's not a small room by any stretch of the imagination. It's rather large, actually, probably the biggest for an individual person's room you've seen so far. The bed that you're lying on is rather grand. There is actually a tub that sits in the middle of the room, halfway across. Though it seems to be empty with where you are as you're trying to take in your senses and look about you. Off to another wall, you see like a bookcase, a bunch of books on it, and a desk near to it. You're not entirely sure where you are. And there's so many more details to the room, but there's just so much happening at once.
Wait a minute.
That you can't even like take it all in at the moment. You're just seeing all this stuff around you. What do you do immediately as you like look about, and you spend like a solid like 3-4 seconds just kind of like taking in the room to see what you just saw? What do you do?
I look at myself, look at the injury, and like I put my hands over it, and like almost instinctively, I cast a second level Cure Wounds.
Please roll that for me. So it's like, do you sit up in the bed first, or you just kind of like lie down and like stretch it out?
I'm
for a
just
second?
lying down. It's like, ugh.
Okay, so the blade is no longer there, stabbing through your clothes, but you can see the injury, and you can see how nasty it is. And so you reach your hand into your clothes and gingerly press it onto your flesh, and you can, like, it stings when you do so, and your hands glow for a second. And 17 points of healing. I think that actually brings you back to max.
Yeah,
so
I technically overhealed.
your wound is perfectly healed to the point where there's not going to be a scar because of that. And so you actually heal the wounds completely. You pull your hand away, and there's still a pool of like moisture of like wet blood there that's starting to dry around like the edges, because blood dries pretty quickly where it's thin, and like a handprint impressed into it. There's blood on your hands. You rub it off. What do you do next?
Instead of rubbing the blood off, I would probably be all snobby and prestidigitation myself. Like, oh, looking good again. Just need to cast mending later.
Okay, so like, kind of you look down, you see it's good, and you literally press the digitation to like clean the blood off of your hands, your skin, and so on and so forth, and you're able to double check yourself one more time and see that the scar is completely healed. That's it for you. Okay, so let's go over to who's next. Messy. So you had just called out the warning to Bran. And you see it, and you see the warning wasn't good enough. He tried to react in time, but he just gets full-on stabbed. Like, he gets a spell up, but this guy gets around it and stabs him hard. And then all of a sudden, like, I imagine there's a mix of feelings for you, because your feelings about Bran are just very, very mixed. Elation at the fact that, like, oh my god, this horrible person could die here, but at the same time, you do have a kinship to him to even a small degree, and so maybe even a twinge of guilt for that initial thought. But whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter anymore, because as you're looking in that direction and prepared to say or do whatever it is you're about to do, you're not there anymore. As a matter of fact, all of a sudden you see yourself standing by an ocean. Literally, your feet are in the sand, and you look about. There's not a soul around you. You just see that you are standing on a beach. The weather here is different than where you were. Actually, it's a heavy overcast with a slight drizzle that's happening. But you can actually see just ocean. As far as you can see to your left and to your right, and pretty far off in the distance, because you have keen eyes, Witcher and whatnot, you can see like little bits of land, whether it be the other side of this being a bay or islands or whatever they are, little bits of land across. The beach seems empty.
Fucking sources. God damn it.
Do you just stand around cussing for a bit and like try
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna wallow in my suffering for a second.
Okay.
Is it like a nice
Fucking
beach? Is it
Bran.
really nice?
Dude, it's not the modern day. All beaches are nice.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'll start walking
It's no
in.
syringes.
I'll just start walking in and like, God fuck, I gotta find out where I am.
As you're walking, your hand like slips into one of those can holders, like the soda can holders.
A koozie?
No. The like plastic pieces that get stuck around.
Oh.
Tal, so going away from you, Tal, all of a sudden you find yourself inside of a cave. I mean, it smells like a cave. You look about, it's dark inside here. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to see because like all of a sudden you went from somewhere bright outside to just like very dark in here. Not like pitch black, but fairly dark. And like you're taking it in, the ceiling's a bit low, so you crouch down a little bit. But you hear like noises of sensational activity. Very, very nearby. Like this cave is not very deep. It's just like round maybe a slight bend. Where you hear like, some grunting and certainly some moaning. And definitely a rhythmic pattern to scraping of against stone, and definitely some adult activities going on with where you're standing currently.
Hello?
You're welcome.
Bastion, you are hard plowing it to that dwarf, and she is.
Wait, he was in a
fucking-
cage.
She's fucking loving it. No, after you guys left, you didn't have to anymore, and she's fucking loving it. Like you were on your A game.
We left.
You since you guys left. No, you remember because when you guys left, he didn't have to stay in there anymore.
No, he did. We specifically left him in the cage. We told him.
We don't know what that dwarf did with
Well,
it.
it doesn't matter because this is the female guard that was watching over him while he was.
Oh,
in.
okay, yeah.
So
Alright.
so you are she's loving it. You were in your A game. You are fucking rocking this. This is like, I mean, you have no stress. Your friends are off taking care of the stuff. You've just been chilling, making friends. Honestly, you've spent some great time with what's her name, getting some training. My apologies. I'll go over her name for you again 1 second. With Joe Run. She's been like working you hard and training you. Like she's been whooping your ass and you're loving it. And like after a hard workout this morning with Joe Run that lasted for hours, you get that like sweat hormones built up and you're just like, I need to work harder and get all these other muscles going. And then all of a sudden you hear Tal be like, hello?
Tal? Bit busy.
Bastion, why are we in a cave?
I don't know why you're here.
Well, I was
Asking the important question. Yeah, I think we need to know.
Like, does he stop? Does he break rhythm? Like even to slow down a bit, or does he?
I mean, I'm slowing down, but I'm still going.
Okay. My man.
I mean, it's one of those things where like you slow down and she's like hearing this conversation going, but like I said, you were on your A game and like you can feel like the nails, like she like leans forward and get the nails digging into your back, like you best not be stopping right now, boy. And go ahead, you were responding.
Well, we were fighting those witch hunters, the scouts. We jumped down the cliff, and then
And then it stops. He doesn't say anything else. He just stops saying, and then what's the rest of your sentence there, Neil?
and then I ended up in the cave.
Okay, so you hear, and then you don't hear anything. All right, so back to you. Back to you. What's your name? Bran. All of a sudden, like you look down, you look down at your handiwork, and you're happy to see where you are. But then you realize that as you look down, you look at your hands, you look at your side. You're no longer sitting in a bed. Actually, not sitting in a bed at all. You realize that you're sitting on a bit of wood, and you hear creaking about you, and you smell salt. And just kind of like looking around, you come to the quick realization, you're on a motherfucking boat.
I'm
Like-
on a boat.
Things hanging up by ropes, swinging back and forth from the like tied to the ceiling overhead. You just look down and you see this around you, and then all of a sudden you hear like a nasty hacking, like somebody with like emphysema for way too long happening next to you, and then you see somebody like look at you like surprise in their eyes, they're like hacking up a lung, like freaking out at the fact that you are in front of them all of a sudden. And I mean, I don't know how comfortable your character is in a boat, but immediately you start to feel that pull of the sea against your stomach and whatnot. Bran, what do you do?
Am I under a deck or am I on top of the deck?
Under. Yeah, actually, so if you're familiar with ships, usually if there's multiple levels to the ship, the first level underneath is much taller than the level beneath that because of like just how the structure goes. You're definitely in that lower part.
I just look around me. It's like, shame. I'd love to see the sea. Sorry about the confusion, mate.
He's just hacking up a lung and trying to like say something, but can't get it out because he's hacking up. You like stand up or?
Fucking
No, I
swords.
just keep sitting there.
Oh,
I'm happy here. There's no people with swords here pointed at me.
So you like legit just kind of like, do you like lie down and just like take in the moment?
If I was on top, I'd be hanging over the railing, just having a look, like having a grand old time.
Oh, okay. So you're just kind of like taking a breath, taking a relaxing moment. The guy,
Yeah.
unfortunately, go ahead.
I'm taking mental notes like, this hasn't happened before, but could be worse.
It would be actually a genuinely peaceful moment. I don't know about you, but like literally at my brother's wedding a week and a half ago, like while everybody else was kayaking, I literally just went and lied on some docks on the lake because there was like a very windy day, so it was very choppy, and just like was passing out, lying on some docks, because it's like so relaxing that movements, right? Even if it's choppy movement. So imagine if it wasn't for his hacking, you could legit fall asleep right now. Like, it's so relaxing with what you were just experiencing to this. But, you know, he has that annoying laughter, and he just is able to eventually get out the words like what, how, and that's pretty much it. All right, moving on. So that brings us back over to you, and so you're there for a bit of time. That gets us back over to you, Leonard, where you went from you were only on the beach for a very short period of time, 10-15 seconds, somewhere in there, when all of a sudden you're like looking about, you're cursing, and you literally whip around to I mean, what's the most recent curse you would have said to start taking your surroundings?
Bastard.
So you literally turn around and you say bastard, and you can actually see that you know, to the crap, I can't remember the name of the religion, the fire religion there, Neil.
Eternal Fire, Church of the Eternal Flame.
So you actually see like one of the ladies that clearly in the robes that, you know, for the Church of the Eternal Fire, holding a baby in her arms. As you turn around, you're like, bastard. And then you can see that she's holding this like young baby in her arms, and there's a woman lying on a table in front of you, clearly having just given birth. And when you appear out of nowhere and say that, she just starts sobbing. You know, she just like starts hard sobbing that you just appear and yell out bastard.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I'll look for the nearest door and I'll just walk out.
The woman's looking at you like just completely stunned, holding the child. The child's doing those like just born screams, like, you know, those like unearthly, horrible screams that brand new babies make. Unless it's your child, then it's magical and you love every moment of it. And so you start looking for the door and you make your way out. And they're trying to like, well, the woman's just now sobbing on the table. And she's like, wait, who are, what is, but she's speaking in Nilfgaardian, which you speak their language fluently, so that's not an issue. And you make your way out of the out the door, and like look about. You're clearly inside of some sort of stone structure. Make me an intelligence check real quick, or a history check if you have that.
I have both. Which one do you want?
History's better.
Okay.
So, looking about, if you were to guess, this doesn't look like a church. This actually looks like maybe some sort of other building, maybe a hospital, something like that. You're not entirely sure. But, so you just like look about and you're like, okay, I don't think I'm in a church. Maybe this is a hospital. And you start, looking to make your way out of the building?
Yeah, just walking out.
Yep. You walk past a bunch of other people. Everybody around you is Nilfgaardian. Everybody's wearing like the typical garb and what that you would see of Nilfgaard. You make your way finally out of the building, out the front door, and you don't know what city you're in. It doesn't seem familiar to you, but as you come like more or less like bursting out that doorway, like trying to like see where you are, you can see that you are somewhere like deep into the lands of Nilfgaard, and this is some busy city, and there are a lot of people about you.
Bastard.
Do you like, so because of the fact that you're in the city, do you try to like do anything there? Or you just want to like kind of stick to the shadows or like?
I imagine it's been more time here than I spent at the beach, right?
Yes.
All right.
I'll get to how much in a moment.
I guess I'll I guess I'll, because I have, Jesus, I don't know. I guess because I have Watcher's Eye, I'll start making my way towards the nearest law enforcement building, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, okay.
Guard tower, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So you just kind of like look about, and you can clearly like look about the area. You are familiar with Nilfgaardian lands, the Nilfgaardian like structure of cities and whatnot, and this is like an older city. So this is like not, one of those we've taking over the city. So things like this is their design, like city plan. So you look about and you're like, okay, if this is like an orphanage or a hospital or something like that, most likely there's a guard tower over here. And so you start walking in that direction, and you actually see a guard tower. They're not guard towers, but you actually see like a station where you see a couple guards like standing outside of it, having a conversation, like smoking, some sort of tobacco or whatever, pipe or not pipe, but I imagine it's more like cigars, and so they're over there smoking. And as you like go to raise your hand or whatever it is to get their attention, we're gonna cut from you and go back to you, Tal. In the cave, but or in this cave or whatever your last sentence was, as you say that, you actually don't find yourself anywhere near that cave whatsoever. You actually find yourself in kind of a rather peculiar spot for you. You are standing in sand, and all about you is sand, as far as the eye can see. Rolling dunes. It's maybe a good thing you're not wearing a shirt because it's hot as balls here, but maybe a bad thing because that sun is coming down fierce. You've never seen a desert before. You've never experienced a desert before, and you are right in the heart of a very nasty one. And the temperature here is, my apologies, I'm American, is like 115 degrees. I mean, luckily there's no humidity, right? But it is beating down. And from you being in the cool mountain side to here, it is a stark difference. It almost, like literally instead of a mountain where it's moist to here where it's dry, it literally chokes up your throat for a second. Like as you finish that sentence with the air in your lungs, all of a sudden you take a breath in and what do you do?
So Tal's like, he finishes his sentence, he's like, that's how I ended up in the cave. Oh my. Oh, God. And then he does like a full slow 360 where he scans the horizon on the spot where he's just turning. I mean, the only desert he would know of is Zeracania. So he has no idea what's going on there right now, but he's just looking. Is there anything other than sand?
I mean, so you can hear the winds because there's actually a decent breeze going, which is unfortunately kicking up a lot of sand, which is very uncomfortable if you don't know how to appropriately handle those like high winds and sandy and like a desert plain. That's actually a very uncomfortable place to be, especially since you don't wear any undergarments and it's blowing up into your nethers. So you are over the howling wind of the sand that's like rushing across the desert that you're standing in. You actually hear sound of combat coming from over a hill over that way.
Oh, people.
I point.
Tal's gonna like double time it, but like as he tries, it like becomes really evident he's not used to walking on sand dunes, and he like stumbles and falls and like tries to try and climb his way up. Yeah. He's just not used to walking on like this surface.
Yeah, I imagine he maybe even gets a little bit like on his lips and his mouth, and like, but no matter how hard you try, because how arid the air is, it steals the moisture from your mouth, so you don't have the spit to actually spit it out. It's very uncomfortable. Your eyes are getting dry. So you clamber up the dune side, like you had just said, and you look down. So you actually see there are 3 men that were on horseback, and they're holding like sabers and whatnot. They had attacked a small caravan of people. The caravan was actually being pulled by camels, and they were riding camels. Which camels just like pulling things aren't super common. So you can imagine, like, I don't know how well your character would know this, but maybe they're not the most wealthy of merchants, but they clearly have a wagon with them that they're pulling full of stuff. Maybe they're not merchants. Either way, they're literally finishing killing everybody over in that wagon area. Like 2 of them are finishing the death throes. The 3rd one is literally jumping off of his horse and opening up the back of the wagon to look inside, like. Saying something in a language you don't understand through like a bit of a laughter, like through a laughter as he's opening up the back of the wagon, and you hear like a Wilhelm scream to the last death.
Oh there! Where the hell am I?
You call up. They immediately turn around. The 2 men that are still on horseback like turn and just start like riding towards you on horseback, holding up their thing. One of them lets out like a as he's making his way over towards you, and the other one kind of like trying to gain momentum right behind him.
Tal will pull out his spear and brace.
Sure, you pull out your spear and brace. I mean, they have a little bit extra reach because of horses, but in 5e it doesn't work quite the same way that actually it works the same for 3rd edition because they're long. You actually get to attack first. You actually literally brace yourself against the first guy. Do you attack the man or the steed?
Yeah, I'll run the man off. Because let's be honest, I need a spear. Horse. If I'm gonna say right. It does an extra 1d10. Okay. Right.
So it's gonna be 2d10 for this attack roll, sir.
If it hits. which he won't.
I mean, you roll a 12. He's rushing at you. He's clearly prepared for combat. If you don't get this hit, you have a man charging at you, swinging at you. Do you want to use a Witcher sense?
Yeah, do it. Do it. What's your wits? What?
D6.
Do it.
Yep. You want to reduce that by
Let's
1,
see.
please? Rick?
Yeah.
but
Did you
okay.
add the one from earlier that Steve gave you guys?
I did.
Okay, cool. So
Yep.
just subtract it. So it's actually going to be a hit.
Oh shit.
14's a good chance to hit for most people.
Let's see.
So 8, which you always roll.
Yeah, why do you keep rolling 8s? What the fuck, dude?
I know. I just love it.
You
There we
stab
go.
the guy in the chest, and you like follow through enough that he legit gets lifted off the horse and falls down. Now, your character's rather acrobatic, so I will make a suggestion. And you're familiar with steeds and whatnot, like that's not an unusual thing for you. If you would like, and this won't be easy, you can try to grab onto the saddle as it's going by.
Legolas it. Obviously.
I mean, if you fail, you could hurt yourself. But if you succeed, you can be on the horse.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Okay.
go. Let's acrobatics this boy.
So first thing I need from you is actually a dexterity save to even be able to grab it, and acrobatics to pull it off.
Okay.
Okay, so you actually, your dexterity save was 2-tiered. You actually rolled above an 18, so I'm actually not giving you disadvantage on your acrobatics check. Okay, are you happy with your 17 before I describe anything else? So yes, you grab onto the saddle. Yes, you're able to be pulled by the horse. No, it is not like a graceful flip up and over and on, but you are actually holding on to like, because I mean, you imagine they ride Western style, so that's a horn. Grab into the horn of the saddle and you're able to get like 1 foot kind of up into the stirrup, but you're like flopping out sideways and being dragged by this horse. Do me one more favor. You can make one of 2 choices here. One's gonna be rolled with disadvantage. One's gonna be rolled with normal. Animal handling to try to like calm the horse down so it doesn't like start bucking and trying to throw you off, and a strength or dexterity save to not drop your spear as it's like hitting the ground as you're being pulled.
Oh my god. Was I have a choice of either?
Yes, one's normal, one's disadvantage. Where's your focus?
I want to drop my spear.
It's up to you, boy.
I'm gonna make a dex save. I'm gonna hold on to this spear.
Okay, dex save, normal. Okay, you easily hold on to your spear, wasn't even a concern. Roll me your animal handling with disadvantage.
Did you see that? What
Are you
the
fucking
fuck?
kidding me?
Nudged the
What?
other dice for
Are
me.
You just
Are you?
wasted our
Literally, it nudged the other dice.
I'm sorry. Not only is this fucking epic, Neil, look at the screen. Look at where those dice are.
Oh yeah.
Like
I
this
got-
is
I
like
got pulled.
the most epic.
Fucking
Okay,
Neil, get the fuck out. I'm not
Neil?
allowed back.
I think
you
there's a
calm it
slide.
down with like, you know how like, I don't know if you guys as kids like ever did this, but I did this all the time. I'm 33. I still do this when I'm riding a bicycle. I totally like put my leg out and so I'm like riding on the outside. It's like my foot's on the right pedal and I'm like holding the bike to my side. So I'm like standing next to my bike as it's like moving forward. I'm like, ha ha ha. You're kind of in one of those right now where you're literally holding onto your spear with one hand, holding onto the horn of the saddle in the other hand. Your foot's inside like the wrong stirrup, and you're literally standing up holding the horse, riding alongside of it. Like you've got the whole momentum of the horse. So like, I mean, like it is looking fucking badass, Neil. Like this is, oh my god, this. I think that was the first animal handling check. Second handling check of the game, but that was amazing. And I think you rolled natural 20 last time too to slap the horse on and actually.
Oh
knock
yeah,
over
I
the
did.
horse.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man, it's canon. Your guy's good with horses. We gotta like do something about this. All right. So anyways,
He's already got a spear. Fucking mounted combat. Give him a lance.
let's cut back now. All of a sudden, you're lying on the ground. So you're lying inside the ship, and your hands are behind your head. You're enjoying the moment. Sans the coughing, and there's still coughing. But unfortunately, that coughing is no longer that of the hacking man with the smell of seawater. You hear coughing of someone else. And so everything just seems different. You can feel the world around you changes, Bran. And so you open your eyes and you see the guy that had just stabbed you is still standing over you, but sopping wet and literally coughing up water out of his lungs. Like coughing water out of his lungs, trying fear in his eyes, doesn't have the sword in his hand anymore. My apologies, I don't know if I said he did. No longer has the sword in his hand. It's just completely gone. And he's standing over you, just drenched head to toe, literally pouring water off of him, like you would if you were fully clothed and just climbed out of a pool, right? Except he didn't climb out, he just appeared out, and so everything is coming off of him at once. A little bit of splatter gets onto you, and so you're like lying there, and like you look up and you see that, okay? Messy. Leonard, all of a sudden, from where he was in the... My apologies, your character went the second time to... Oh, you like walking up, waving to the guard tower. You're no longer waving at the guard tower. You're actually waving at seeing that scenario exactly where you were before, of them two appearing before you. One just like relaxed, almost like sleeping, and the other one is drenched head to toe right there. But that's kind of cool because immediately to your side, you have Tao, who's standing, holding on to the horn of a saddle, literally riding a horse. But that horse is no longer riding like through into a clearing. He's now inside of like a random, like in this like craggy area. And so with that natty 20 roll that you just did there, sir, you actually holding onto the horse, are able to steer around Messy's character and go towards like a couple of rocks. Where you're able to pull it up to a stop, so it actually stops entirely and is not running into anything, doesn't hurt you or anything
thanks
whatsoever.
for not running me over.
But you move over like, 15 feet or 35 feet, sorry, from where you were a moment ago. And the other guy that you had just stabbed the once, that was still over like by where Messy, who's coming around the side to attack or whatever, to attack Brandon, you stabbed the once. He's literally just like sitting on the ground, fetal position, holding his knees, like so confused. The corpse has never moved. The corpse of the guy you killed first stayed where he was the whole time. So he's literally grabbing onto his knees, fetal position, rocking back and forth, freaked out right now. Back into initiative. That was Brand's turn. Leonard, it's your turn.
That was Brand's turn. Nice turn. Excellent action economy there.
Yeah, that was all right. Okay. So Leonard's actually gonna take a second, especially with the horse running around him and all that, and see that they don't really look to be threats anymore, because one of them's disarmed and the other one's fetal position, and he's just gonna put his hand down, like fix his collar maybe, whatever, and then just start walking towards Bran. Very mad, very upset.
Okay. You walk towards Bran. Bran's lying on the ground, eyes open, somewhat surprised to see what's going on. Obviously can maybe looks your direction. That's up to him, because he hears you walking his way. And there's a sopping wet guy that just stabbed him standing over Bran. What do you do when you get over there?
I'm just gonna kick the guy off Brand real quick. I don't know if you want me to roll an unarmed strike for that, but I'm just gonna kick him in the chest and try to knock him down off of him.
Yeah, you can actually. So if you want to do like a kick him over, you're welcome to do that if you'd like. So you just make an athletics check. That is.
Okay. I'm not very good at athletics, but I'll give it a shot. Yeah. Okay.
Oh. I can't whisper and pop out. That's upsetting. I don't know if Vic Tormes is still in chat or not. Sorry, that was an intense moment for us. We actually have a Discord. If you want to actually hop into Discord for us and chat there, everybody loves to hear about backstories and stuff like that. So totally head over to the Discord, and everybody loves talking about the different characters, different campaigns, so on and so forth. If somebody could toss that link in there, that'd be awesome. Anybody who is a player character in our Discord has the ability to generate the invite token, or you can scroll down and click it below on Twitch. Assuming that person's still in chat. All right, you go over and you go to kick the guy in the chest. Honestly, the guy is completely, I won't lie, that's a really low roll. I'm going to roll for this person, but they're completely disoriented and everything. So, do you want to use a Witcher sense, or are you good with that one? That's up to you, of course.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Drop highest one. Okay. So you actually succeed with your check.
That's surprising.
Wow.
So I know your DC is 6. He also rolled a 6 because it's a tie. I gave it to the PC. So
Okay.
you actually walk over and you hit him in the chest, and it's not one of those things where it's like a clean, like super action-packed, like awesome-looking moment. But you definitely hit the guy in the chest with enough force. He stumbles backwards and falls on his ass, and like looks up at you, like still hacking up some water from his lungs and shocked.
All right, so then I'm gonna just crouch down over Bran. Bran. What the fuck was that?
Surprisingly relaxed, all things considered. I make a show of looking at the guys, like, not for him though.
Bran, I cursed at a baby. Made you curse it.
He just laughs and like, oh man, that's great.
I made the newly made mother cry, Bran. I called her.
Please, was it the eternal flame? Please tell me it was the eternal flame.
All right. Leonard gets red faced and he's just gonna stand up.
Oh, it was no. Oh, this is great.
Fucking sources, I swear to God.
Does Leonard also have a longsword? I was just teasing.
Oh wait, hold on, you're onto something.
Oh.
I'll take out my I'll take out my saber and jokingly like hold it out for the guy I just kicked over to come take it if he wants it.
I'll worry about that when I get back to him because he's still
Yeah.
hacking up his lung. Tal, it's your turn. As I said, you rolled those double natty 20s on your disadvantage. That was fucking sexy. And so hopefully somebody clips that for later on. And you actually not only were you able to hold on to the horse, I actually let you take it back with you. And
I did notice.
And you did not hurt anybody or run into anything and look like a fool when you came back. So you looked like enough of a fool with your ass in the air earlier. Now you're holding onto the horse as I was describing beforehand. Hacking guy, fetal guy. Oh,
Nice horse,
roll me.
tall.
roll me. Now that you actually have a little bit of elevation. Roll me a perception.
I'll give you one hell of a perception check. Oh baby, you won't forget this.
Sorry, by the way, Dunce. This that whole bit added to your sitting around. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
sorry,
dizzy.
but it was like the perfect in-character thing.
You don't see anything.
You know what I do see? A Hacky, well, I mean, can we call him Stabby Man? I don't feel like Hacky Man is appropriate. Stabby Man and Fetus Man. Right, I'll leave my Zeracanian warhorse here for now. For now.
You think it was Zeracania. You didn't know the language they were speaking.
No. I mean, it's a desert, right? That's my presumption.
You
The
are
only desert I've heard of is Zeracanian Desert.
Wait, that's no horse, that's a camel.
It did not sound like Zeracanian that they were speaking for whatever that means. Go ahead.
I don't think Tal would know, but sure. Let's go run through Hacky Man because he's actually dangerous. Or
Okay.
previously has shown himself to be dangerous.
So the one that's like sopping wet and just got shoved to the ground, you just can kind of like run over and stab him with the spear.
Yeah.
Do you full sit on the horse, or do you stay on the side of it like a badass that you are right now?
I'm gonna hop off the horse.
Oh, you're gonna hop off. Okay. Okay.
So drop off the side.
Yep. No biggie.
Leave the horse there and try and stab that boy. Is he prone?
He's sitting, which is technically prone.
Do I have advantage then on a melee attack?
You do.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's a hit.
Schwung.
He gets a sword held out to him to take, and then he just gets fucking blasted.
9 points of damage. That's not enough to drop him, but you do have your second attack. So it's like a stab. It's like, like looks back, pains, like you just stabbed him, and you just like try to follow through and finish. You hit again.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta finish him, right? I don't understand why we're not murdering these people. They attacked us. They shot Bran.
I think everybody's just kind of thrown off for the moment. And so so you just stab him. He's like, ah! Like as you pull it out and he tries to turn around and look at you, you just follow through like a little bit higher up on his chest and just stab into his heart from behind. And you pull it out and he falls. A little bit of water falls out of his lungs because you punctured that hole for him. Did him a little favor there. Yeah.
Drained it, no problem.
Yep. Filled it with
Medical
blood though.
procedure
Filled it with
Saved
complete.
his life.
Can I turn to the other two who are namby-pambying around? We're still on a battlefield.
Yeah, oh man, that fetal position is looking mighty threatening, isn't it? Oh,
And then to
man.
punctuate that point, the guy that you didn't see with your perception check earlier finishes climbing up the rock that he was nearby, and is like so confused about there's a horse there. There wasn't a horse before, like because he was making his way over, right? And like I said, it took time for him to get over here as he was like running that whole distance through a craggy, rough terrain area. So he climbs up on a rock and he looks about confused for a second. It's like, okay, and he just aims his crossbow at the one that just stabbed his friend that he just saw happen, and is going to take a shot at Tao.
One.
About to take 5 damage. I'm calling it right now.
If it hits, I'm using deflect missiles as my reaction.
It does deflect your arrows. How much can you reduce?
Right. The damage you take from the attack is reduced by a 1d10 plus your dex modifier, which I believe is a +4, so +9.
Even just that modifier might be enough.
Okay. Wow. So you say we're on the battlefield. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. Fetal position. And then all of a sudden the guy steps up, fires a shot, and you see out of like the corner of your eye, and you reach over and snatch it right before it hits you. And again, I don't imagine it's not one of those like kind of moments. It's literally like one of those wide palm grabs
Yeah,
to
he
break the
slaps
momentum
it.
as you go. Yeah. So, I mean, technically you can catch it and hold it in your hand. Do you get the ability to throw it back? Is that something that exists in 5e? Maybe one archetype gets it.
You can spend a key point.
One key point to make a ranged attack with the weapon or piece of ammunition you just caught as part of the same reaction.
You could do that. You could throw it back at the guy.
You get proficiency for
Go
the
on, then.
attack as well.
Pretty
Go on,
badass.
I mean, go ahead.
Do it.
Right, so what is it? It'll be... I'm just going to roll an unarmed strike, because that's in effect what it'd be, because it counts as a monk weapon.
Yep. Oh, you fucking kidding me? Neil, are you the Witcher here? Are you the Witcher of the campaign? Like, what is this?
Someone's been doing under the table blowjobs.
And
It
sometimes.
happens.
Roll your damage, sir. And is the damage the same as, like you said, like a monk weapon, right?
Yeah.
Well, he was the crossbow guy. He wasn't as tough as the other ones. You throw the arrow back, and it literally hits him straight in the chest, and he literally looks confused, looks down at it, and goes to, like, hold it, and stumbles backwards, and falls off the back of the little rock that he just climbed up. There's just one guy left in the fetal position,
See? We're fine.
and it's Brand's turn. So I guess we're out of combat now? Jesus
Yes,
Christ.
we are, yeah.
So he says, like, literally that happens, that you see him catch it, and he goes and throws it back, and I imagine Bran, like, sits up a bit and looks that way and sees how it plays out, goes, see, we're fine. And we cut to break, because we need to process all of that. So,
That was an intense turn.
Jesus Christ.